We are doing a session on how do you use your timing and what kind of changes you need to bring to your prep processes in the times of the coronavirus and the home quarantine. So that's what I want to talk to you about, and how does CAT prep strategy actually change, and if it changes, what should the changes be? Is the whole idea of what we are going to do in this session. So you're with me, Arun Sharma, and this is the Unacademy CAT-alyst channel on which we are doing this session. So what are the things? Of course, I guess now after the announcement of our beloved PM, Mr. Narendra Modi, yesterday evening. So we all home quarantine, and for the next 21 days, we are all at home. And not to speculate, but one does not know how long this is going to continue. But till 15th April, तो certainty है. उसके बाद क्या होगा? I mean, I'm not here to speculate about that. But very clearly, till 15th April, we have certainty of at least having a lot of time. So the first effect of the home quarantine, the first effect of the home quarantine basically is the extra time that you have. Right? No school, no college, no going out, no going to office, no commuting from office or back to office. So I guess 99% of us have a lot of extra time because our daily, I mean, even if you're working from home, even those of you who are working from home have a lot of extra time available for you in the context of at least the 2 3 hours that you would normally spend going and coming to and from office. That's over. So in a lot of ways, this is a kind of a godsend opportunity. Of course, the grim reality of what is there outside and what's doing to our economy, this is there, and we sitting here cannot change that. And I guess the only way to go was this lockdown, and in a lot of ways, our country has been acting very proactively on this dimension. But the question that arises now that okay, ठीक है, ये तो given facts है. So are there any positives out of this? And for the preparation community, the biggest positive I would think here is that you would ideally up your targets. You would increase your targets for what you want to do in the next 25 days, or let's say we plan a target till 30th April. The next 1 month, your focus should normally be to do around double what you would do, what you would normally done. So if you are on a prep process, or whether you're starting a prep process now, both kinds of students, A, people who have already started, and B, people who are just starting now. For both these people, the you would first need to create a plan, right? And you would have created a plan for what you would do during April and what you would do during May, right? So my first advice to all of you, and there are going to 5 6 points in this discussion that I'm going to talk about. My first advice to all of you is to focus on trying to get stuff done in April, and accelerate your preparation in such a way that your 2 month target, whatever you had for your 2 month target, you bring it down into this month. Now, what does it mean for quantitative aptitude? What does it mean for DI? What does it mean for LR? And what does it mean for verbal? So let's start looking at this one by one. QA की जब बात करते हैं तो QA prep जो है वो 6 blocks में divided है according to the way I have structured it in my books. Block 1 of quantitative aptitude. Block 1 of quantitative aptitude is essentially the chapters of number systems. And progressions. Block 2 of quantitative aptitude are the chapters of average and allegation. Block 3 of quantitative aptitude are the arithmetic chapters starting from percentage, ratio proportion, interest, profit and loss, time and work, time, speed, distance, and applications of time, speed, distance. Applications of time, speed, distance. This is block 3 of your prep. Block 4 of your quants prep are the chapters of geometry, mensuration, and coordinate geometry. Block 5 of your prep breakup of quants. Block 5 of your prep breakup of quants is your functions, inequalities, logs, and equations. And finally, block 6 of your QA are the chapters of permutation combination, probability, and set theory. So maybe I'll just put that somewhere else because that's not visible on this page. So block 6 of your preparation is permutation combination, probability, and set theory. तो ये बेसिकली तुम्हारा पोर्शन आउटलाइन है of what you need to do for quants in CAT. Now इस पोर्शन आउटलाइन में essentially if you look at the portions, block 2 is a minor area not in terms of its importance, it's quite important, but in terms of the amount of work. So in each of these blocks, the amount of work gets defined by how many questions you're supposed to process. I hope you all know that when you're preparing for CAT, it's not just about studying theory, especially in quants. It is also about doing your questions and essentially your depth of preparation for every chapter can be measured with respect to how many questions you have to solve in order to master that chapter approximately. So fair degree of mastering. Of course, mastering भी different levels पे आता है. एक level of mastering होता है कि मेरे को 6 क्वेश्चन दे दो इस चैप्टर में तो मैं 6 सॉल्व कर लूंगा. I'm not talking about that level of mastery. I'm talking about level of mastery where out of every 6 questions you can solve at least 4. Because if you get to that point, then out of 34 questions you will be able to solve at least 20 to 23. So of course, I hope you all realize that when you're talking about your prep processes, the first thing you need to organize in your mind, or first thing you need to make sure you are clear about, is what are your targets. तो एक बार अपने टारगेट्स को भी रिव्यू कर लो कि तुम्हारा करंट टारगेट्स क्या है. तुम जो तैयारी कर रहे हो किस ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए तैयारी कर रहे हो. आर यू प्रिपेयरिंग टू बी एबल टू सॉल्व 28 to 30 questions out of 34? Or are you preparing to solve 22 to 25 questions out of 34? Is your preparation at this level? Or you are preparing to solve 18 to 21 questions out of 34? What is your target? Excuse me. Just a normal sneeze that was. तो 18 to 21 out of 34 तुम टारगेट कर रहे हो कि तुम्हारा टारगेट थोड़ा और कम है, मतलब 14 to 17 के बीच में टारगेट है तुम्हारा आउट ऑफ 34. कौन से रेंज में जा रहे हो तुम? व्हाट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव? तो हर कुछ जब भी स्ट्रैटेजी की बात करते हैं तो ऑब्जेक्टिव से डिफाइन होता है स्ट्रैटेजी. बिना ऑब्जेक्टिव के और स्ट्रैटेजी का कोई मतलब नहीं होता है. तो वी हैव टू गेट आवर ऑब्जेक्टिव क्लियर. एंड इवन इफ यू स्टार्ट ऑफ विद अ लोअर ऑब्जेक्टिव, सपोज यू आर वीक एट मैथ्स और तुम इस लोअर ऑब्जेक्टिव से स्टार्ट करते हो, तो तुम्हारा टारगेट ये होना चाहिए कि इस ऑब्जेक्टिव को मैं जितना जल्दी मीट कर सकूँ कर लूँ. सपोज तुम अभी करंट मेजरमेंट तुम करते हो और तुम 0 to 5 आउट ऑफ 34 में हो. करंट मेजरमेंट तुम करते हो एंड यू एट 0 to 5 आउट ऑफ 34 और तुम्हारा टारगेट ये है कि मेरे को कैट में ये करना है कम से कम. तो व्हाट यू कैन ट्राई टू डू इज कि मे बी बाय इन 3 months टाइम, 3 to 4 months टाइम, by June, July, you can actually try to get to this point. Okay, by July end, I'm comfortably in this zone, and then you can start looking up, right? तो बेस टारगेट तुम्हारा अगर जुलाई में फुलफिल हो जाता है तब तुम नेक्स्ट टारगेट या उसके नेक्स्ट टारगेट तक अपनी नज़र को बढ़ा सकते हो. यू कैन टेक योर eyes to those levels, and then you can try to get there in the preparation zone after that. So essentially, on an average, to be able to solve 34 questions, then in every chapter out of every, basically तुम्हारा जो एग्जाम है उसका टिपिकल ब्रेकअप ये रहेगा. If I divide the typical breakup between the 5 sections, between the different sections, your exam will typically be broken into block. How many questions out of 34 will you get out of block 1? How many out of block 2, 3? How many out of block 4? How many out of block 5? And how many out of block 6? Right? So this will be the basic breakup of what you need to be able to, or of how you need to be able to check where you're heading. And typically what will happen is that in each of these blocks, in the actual test, in each of these blocks, in the actual test, there will be around, block 1 mein there will be around 6 to 10 questions. Block 2, 3 mein there will be around, because there are a lot of chapters in that, 7 to 14 questions. Block 4 mein again you will have 6 to 8 questions. Block 5 mein you will get between 6 to 10 questions. And block 6 mein you will get between 3 to 6 questions. This is the normal structure of the exam. So what I suggest you to think of when you want to measure कि मैं कहाँ हूँ, और किसी भी पॉइंट पे तुमको मेजर करना है कि मैं कहाँ हूँ, किसी पॉइंट में मेजर करना है कहाँ हूँ, तो what you can do is go blockwise and try to measure कि out of every 7 questions, how many can I solve? 7, 7, 7, 7 in the first 4 areas and 6 in the fifth area. Is 30, 34 question में से मैं कितना solve कर सकता हूँ? So, for example, to get to 28 to 30, you have to have a profile which looks something like this. Even a 5 there will not get me to 28, but a profile that looks something like this. That if you give me 7 questions on block 1, I'll be able to solve 5 of them. You give me 7 questions on block 2, I'll be able to 2, 3, I'll be able to solve 5 of them, 6 of them. So this will take you to 28 to 30 approximately, right? For a 20 to 25 range, you need a profile that looks something like this: 4, 5, 5, 5, and 4 maybe. This kind of profile will take you to 20 to 25 questions. If you're given 7 questions on block 1, if you're able to solve 4 of them under any circumstance, so you will be able to create these numbers. 18 to 21 के लिए you can just notch it down one bit. So 4, 4, 4, 3, 4 will do it for you, right? And for 14 to 17 it can just be 3, 3, 3, 3 and 3. So or essentially the journey of CAT prep is about being able to move in quants. It's about being able to move up this ladder. I mean, and your starting point of this ladder could even be 2, 1 or 0. But moving up this ladder is what it's all about. And this movement of this ladder is going to happen through learning out of questions. That's the only way this movement is going to happen. Right? And you need to organize. और होता क्या है कि जब तुम एक when you sit down and do a prep, suppose तुम अभी block 2, 3 पे बैठते हो, you say कि मेरा अप्रैल में मेरा first target block 2, 3 है. Especially those of you starting preparation, they should ideally start from block 2, 3. The best way, according to me, to prepare is block 2, 3 first, followed by block 1, followed by 4, 5 and 6. और 4, 5, 6 का जो order है, that can even be 5, 4, 6. Or I might even recommend a 6, 5, 4. 2, 3, 1 का order वही रखना, और 4, 5, 6 का order या तो 4, 5, 6 कर सकते हो, या 5, 4, 6 कर सकते हो, या 6, 5, 4 कर सकते हो. You can define your order according to where you are and what you need to do. Right. So essentially, there's a certain number of questions you need to look at in every chapter. So block 1 is 400, progressions is approximately 200, number systems requires approximately 400 questions to be able to. उतने questions जब तक करोगे नहीं तब तक all question types तुम देखे नहीं होगे. Or typically you can use my LOD1 and LOD2 of my books to organize this structure. ठीक है. फिर averages पे 200 question का target है. Allegation पे 100 question का target है. और typically क्या होता है इस in the context of home quarantine, normally what would happen is if somebody is starting his preparation now, till end of April, he could have been able to do only this, because this is 8 chapters, or typically एक महीने में 6 to 8 chapters is your normal 6 to 8 chapters is your normal what can you say, 6 से 8 chapters is your normal capacity in a month. But given the home quarantine situation and the extra time that you have, what you can also do along with this as a major block, you can maybe do a complete small block. You can add this to it. So by the end of April, you might be in a situation where you're done with 2 3 4 2 3, and you're done with 6. Or you could alternately pick up one or two chapters from any of the other blocks and do that. So that is another way to do it. Okay, I'm done with 2 3 if I'm starting off, और वन का मेरा नंबर सिस्टम्स कंप्लीट हो गया नेक्स्ट 30 days में. Don't think end of April. Think till 25th April from right now. So that could be a way to organize how you want to build your CAT prep strategy during this time. Right now, होता क्या है कि ये इस स्किल डेवलपमेंट मैट्रिक्स में कैसे मूव करता है. तो क्या होगा कि जब तुम ब्लॉक 2 3 एक बार पढ़ोगे, when you study it once, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि तुम 0 से 2 के बीच में थे, यहाँ पे 0 से 2 के बीच में थे, और सडनली तुम 6 out of 7 पे पहुंच जाओगे. It won't happen. That does not happen. But essentially what happens is a movement from 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5, and maybe 5 to 6 could involve 4 rounds of going back to those chapters. Of course, the work in the first round will be the maximum, but when you go back to the same chapters again, you will have to focus on questions that you're not able to solve the first time around. And essentially what happens is that just like time heals all wounds, if you have certain problems in your mind in thinking in a particular chapter or a particular question type, तो जैसे जैसे तुम उस चैप्टर्स को एक्सपीरियंस करते हो, तुम्हारा लर्निंग उसका सीप इन करता है. तो उस सीप इन करने के लिए तुमको टाइम देना पड़ेगा. तो टिपिकली क्या होगा, अगर तुम अभी स्टार्ट करते हो, लेट्स से यू आर स्टार्टिंग ऑफ प्रेप और तुम ब्लॉक 2 3 से स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, तो एंड यू आर गिविंग 25 days एक्सक्लूसिवली ब्लॉक 2 3 प्लस एज आई सेड सम स्मॉल चैप्टर और स्मॉल ब्लॉक. लेकिन ये 25 days में मैसिव काम तुम्हारा ब्लॉक 2 3 पे हो रहा है, तो देयर विल बी ग्रोथ. There'll definitely be growth on block 2 3. Even if you're weak, even if you're at 0 out of 7, कुछ ग्रोथ तो आने वाला है. तो वो ग्रोथ जब आएगा, उस ग्रोथ के बाद तुम ब्लॉक 2 3 को कुछ दिन तक छोड़ देना. You leave it for the next 15-20 days, next month or so. और एक महीने बाद होगा क्या कि अगर ब्लॉक 2 3 पे तुमने हर चैप्टर के 100 क्वेश्चन, कितने क्वेश्चंस करने हैं ब्लॉक 2 3 पे, एवरेज पे 200 है, एलिगेशन पे 100 है, percentage पे, and what you have to do for each of these chapters, you have to collect these questions. और मेरी बुक अगर तुम लोग के पास है, क्वांट QA for CAT की, मेरा नाम अरुण शर्मा एज यू नो, तो अगर मेरी बुक अवेलेबल है तुम्हारे पास QA for CAT की, तो कलेक्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. LOD 1 और 2 देख लो सिर्फ. तो 200 क्वेश्चन 150 क्वेश्चन 200 क्वेश्चन टाइम एंड वर्क में 200 नहीं, 150 questions in time and work, 300 questions in अच्छा application of TSD मैंने अलग कर दिया, तो 250 questions in TSD and 150 questions in the application of TSD. इतने questions तुम कलेक्ट कर लेते हो. जब तुम सॉल्व करोगे फर्स्ट राउंड में, तो सब कुछ सॉल्व नहीं होगा तुमसे. तो जो क्वेश्चन नहीं सॉल्व हो रहे हैं, उनको तुम सेकेंड राउंड के लिए छोड़ दो. यू कम बैक टू दैट चैप्टर 1 month later, mark those questions that you've not been able to solve, allow the learning of the first round to seep in, and then come back to the chapters again. Right? This is how you go about your CAT prep process, your quant process. And then you come back and you think about the questions. You do those questions that you have solved. एक बार जो सॉल्व हो गया उसको एक बार फिर से कर लो. वो डीपर चला जाएगा तुम्हारे. उसमें तुमको मेथड्स मिलेंगे, टेक्निक्स मिलेंगे, और जो नहीं किए हो उसके बारे में सोचना स्टार्ट करो. तो क्या होगा, अगर जो नहीं किए वो चंक कितना बड़ा है, तो उसमें से कुछ क्वेश्चंस तुम्हारे एक महीने की लर्निंग सीप इन होने के बाद, some of those questions will start getting solved for you. You might start ending up solving 20-30% of those questions, and that is actually a big victory, because You might not have reached the end of the chapter and have solved all the questions that you picked up, but वो victory इसलिए है because तुमने ऐसे questions किए जो तुमसे solve नहीं हो रहे थे. And every time you do one question like that, it's a victory for you because it's taking you closer to a situation where you not only have the knowledge of how to solve questions, but also have the belief of how to solve the questions. And that is what gives you the upward movement down these axes. Right? Just to remind those of you who came in late, this is if I give you 7 questions on block 1, how many are you able to solve? What is your solving capacity? तुम्हारे कितने solve होते हैं उसमें से? Right? So this is what it's all about. And this is my first session in this series, CAT prepped in the times of home quarantine. I'll be coming regularly on this in the next few sessions. My next session is going to be tomorrow on this same time, and I will talk about other aspects of this process and of the whole game of CAT prep and how you should utilize your time for CAT prep during the times of home quarantine. Sagar asked me, I have given CAT last year. What is the percentile, Sagar, last year? Can we directly go to last year mocks? In the meantime, let me also give you the Unacademy promotional message. I am on Unacademy Plus. You know my name, Arun Sharma, and I am a 20-time CAT qualifier. I have cracked the CAT 20 times, and more important than 20 times, I have actually gone through the prep cycle with my students 25 times. I started training after passing out in 1995. So inside out, one knows the prep cycle. And some of my courses, I run some of my courses on Academy Plus. These courses include foundation courses for DI, then foundation courses for LR, advanced courses for DI, LR, then previous year questions courses on QA. These are courses that I run on Unacademy Plus. And if you want to join Unacademy Plus, you can use my promo code. My promo code is arun.yt. This is the promo code. It will give you a 10% discount on the existing fees. And Unacademy Plus pay best advantage is that you get access to all the teachers, not just me. You get access to all the teachers who are teaching and all their courses. So just going back to Sagar's question, you can start going to last year mocks, but also do a little bit of work. So what will happen is if you go through the chapter list again, there will be some chapters. Quants की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं आज. I'll be taking separate sessions for DI prep strategy and other things. तो quants के chapters को list देखोगे जब, which is on this slide. When you see that list, you will realize that there are some chapters in which there is more difficulty for you. You are not so comfortable. You have weakness in those chapters, etc. So it's during that time that you actually have to focus on spending some time on those individual chapters. So mock test तो करोगे ही, last year mocks भी करोगे, उससे improvement आएगा, लेकिन कुछ improvement तुमको chapter में जाके भी आएगा. So basic thumb rule ये रहता है कि अगर तुम्हारा कोई chapter weak है, तो उस chapter में 100-150 question नया उठा के solve करते हो तो chapter improve कर जाएगा. कोई concept weak है तो 25 question उसका उठा के solve करोगे तो वो improve कर जाएगा. Right? So I hope you enjoyed this thing and the perspectives I bring this thing. I love being online with all of you, and it's great. Although times are depressing outside with all other angles, but it's great time to be actually connected on the net with each other. All of us are safe and all of us are learning. So look forward to having some of you on my Unacademy Plus classes. As I mentioned, this is the promo code arun.yt if you want to join in. And my next course is starting on foundation course for logical reasoning is starting on 31st of this month. So hope to see more of you there. For the time being, goodbye everyone. Bye bye. See you.